Alright, I think you're not working yet.
Yeah, we are.
Are we beginning to record?
Yes.
Oh, wow, we're beginning to record. Okay, well, you guys just saw that I don't know how to operate this stuff. And this is my son. His name is Adam.
Hi.
And what we're doing today is we're doing a show on teens who understand their rights. See, the Constitution was written many years ago so that every one of us Americans could be free to make our own choices and decisions with minimal government interruption. And we're going to take it from a kid's point of view and some of his experiences. And hopefully this is fun for you guys. If it's not, like post a blog on me, then we'll try to do it better. So, Adam, tell me, what do you feel about the Constitution?
Well, the Constitution should be upheld by the people. By people, I mean the American race.
What is the Constitution?
What's the Constitution?
In your own words, look at the camera and tell the viewers what the Constitution means to you.
Constitution is where you find out what the government is supposed to do for you. What you are supposed to do for your government.
Okay, and what else is the Constitution? Is it a law or is it a theory? What is it?
It is a law.
Is law of any kind a theory?
No. Yes.
Which one is it? Do you remember? Do you know? I mean, this is your own opinion. We're doing an opinion on a 15-year-old about the Constitution and what it means. So far, we've gotten that it's a law, but is it also a theory?
Yes.
And what is the difference between a theory and, say, an actual scientific fact?
I have no clue.
You don't remember that from science?
Nope.
So a theory is based on a person's opinion
Yes.
and views. A scientific fact is something that's been studied and proven to be true.
Oh, yeah.
Alright? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Look at the camera.
Yeah, I do.
Alright? They do what?
I remember.
Okay. So, is the Constitution a law and a theory all at once?
Yes.
Now, we're going to come into some serious matters here. Because you did a report for English, right, concerning family rights.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly why did you get involved with family rights to begin with? Why did you think that was important for you at, well, how old was you when you first got involved with family rights movement?
12.
Okay. So you were 12 when you began to look at family rights in the Constitution and what it meant to you. So you've been studying roughly the Constitution for 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been involved with family rights activist groups
Yes.
for the last 3 years.
Yes.
So then, how does the Constitution apply to you? You did this wonderful thing for English. Your English teacher was very impressed. So, what was the basics of your essay that you gave to the English teacher concerning family rights and Constitution?
It was telling her about what my experience was in family rights movements and telling her about how I lost my sisters and brother
To what?
to children's services and how I fought with my mom and dad.
And who's your dad?
Fred.
What does that mean?
Yes.
Who's your mom?
Daniel.
Now, do you have a biological mother?
Yeah, but I don't want to mention her name right now. I don't stay in touch with her.
Why is that?
Why is that? She drove me through too much.
So then, after your brother and two sisters were removed from your mom and dad, and you're referring to Dana and myself from Children's Services, you came to stay with who? Did you come to stay with us?
Yes.
With your mom and dad, that's Craig, Norman, and Dana Sullivan, correct?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about how you have grown in this, and how the Constitution should apply to all Children's Services cases, and why.
Well, let's start out how I've grown. Since I've been with Mom, Dad, you and Dana, I have got off disability and have gotten all A's and B's in school. And I am 20 credit points away from graduating.
And you just passed the 9th grade, is that right?
Yes.
Did you get all A's and B's for the first time in your school history?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how does family rights and the Constitution apply to your case right now? What's going on at this moment that you know about that could very well take away one of your rights?
Well, the judge, he filed an opinion, and
on what? What was the opinion about?
the court hearing. No. The objection
To the court.
to the court hearing, yes.
And was that filed by me again?
Yes.
And what did those objections state? Do you remember?
No.
You didn't see that, did you? I didn't show
No.
you that, did I?
No.
But underneath what you can gather from what I told you and what you've heard, was the Constitution added into those objections
Yes.
to Magistrate Rickrick and Judge Baldwin of the Lincoln County Common Pleas Court's domestic relations?
Yes.
And in that, do you feel that the court, when it ruled that your mom, Dave, your biological mother, who you don't want to mention, Dave, was unstable, and that it wasn't safe for you or your sister to be there, and then they used Julie, Billy, and Ray Ann's case on me and Dana for having you, and they were referring it to what court?
To juvenile court.
Okay. And what do you know about juvenile court, based on your experience that you've seen with juvenile court here in Lincoln County?
They spit on the Constitution. Spit.
And how is that?
They just throw it aside.
Can you tell me what due process is?
Due process?
Is that a constitutional right?
Yes.
What amendment?
Amendment 1.
No.
No.
Again, that's one of them, but what's due process? Everybody's equally protected and are afforded due process. It binds it.
Number 14.
Yes. Correct. And that's a due process, right?
Yes.
Now, is part of due process having a jury trial,
Yes.
even in a civil matter?
Mm-hmm.
Will juvenile court allow for jury trials in cases of children's services intervention or state intervention of custody that you know of?
No.
And based on, and where did you get that experience from, that they didn't honor a jury trial?
In your case.
And Mom's case?
In Mom's
And speaking of Dana, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the juvenile court and children's services violate your constitutional right.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it that you want to be, that you feel that you will be able to become a productive citizen and feel safe from harm and ability to grow with enrichment? Is that with the state?
No.
Do you want the state to involve itself with you?
No.
Or do you feel that you can do anything to stop the state from being involved with you?
No.
So how do you feel about this situation? You feeling like you're not going to have a choice where you want to live without due process?
This makes me upset, but I'm just going to go on with it and smile and be happy.
But are you really going to be happy inside if they take you from?
No.
And where is it that you really want to stay?
Okay. You and Mom. And I'm referring to Dana.
Now, I'm going to try to liven this up, man. You're kind of uptight. I know it's a serious situation. We can ask you a question.
Oh.
Do you know how to correct or punish people who take away your rights?
Yes.
Or it's called deprivation.
Yes.
And what is that? What is the formula, or what is the process by which you can make a judge, a prosecutor, a child service worker, or heck, even your parents pay for taking away one of your rights?
Where's the answer?
And what is that? Is that
it is a United States code
that allows for what?
Civil complaint
for anyone who takes away a person's
right.
right. Now, does it specify, especially under what they call a collar of law? And what is collar of law? Do you know what that is?
No.
Does the caseworker come with the power of the state?
Yes.
Saying that they're doing their job under state?
Yeah.
Code.
Who's the state? People of the United States.
Well, people in the state that they're living in, but we're all U.S. citizens. So, if a state worker of any kind takes away your right as a citizen of the United States, then you can civilly sue them?
Yes.
Under 42 U.S.C.?
Yes.
And that's a federal code that says that any American, did it read out any age description of when that could be, of who could file?
No.
Is it going to be a class action suit?
No.
It has to be what?
Has to be a civil.
I'm saying a class action, can multiple people file against for the same thing, or does each person have to file independently?
Each person has to file independently.
And why is that?
Why is that?
Whose right is it to enforce the Constitution?
The people.
And each person individually has to do so, correct?
Yes.
Now, do you have rights as a child since you're a United States citizen?
Yes.
And are those protected in the Constitution?
Yes.
And so, you feel that the courts aren't giving you due process, correct?
Correct.
Now, you wanted to leave your biological mother, Jade, because
She drug me through the house, so
did she expose you to bad stuff?
yes.
Some things you probably don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave those untouched. But were you exposed to drugs?
Yes.
Were you exposed to dangerous people?
Yes.
Did you ever feel safe there?
No.
Never?
Never.
Now coming to where you're at now, do you feel safe with mom and dad here? I know you're referring to
Dana.
mom as Dana,
Yes.
or Dana as mom. So how do you feel about being with me and your mom Dana? Is it safe to be with us?
Yes.
And how is that? How do we keep you safe?
Huh.
Or how are you able to keep yourself safe? Just, in your own words, man. Liven up, be cool. I mean, it's serious, but it's really not. We're trying to have some fun here a little bit. We're trying to show people that they can teach their children their rights, and it won't make them some kind of barbaric beast. Because you're sitting there pretty calm, you're a good kid. But let's get back on subject. Why is it that you feel safe with Dad, me, and Mom Dana, as opposed to with your biological
You guys
mother?
have brought me up instead of breaking me down, and that's all that really matters.
Brought you up. How? Do you have self-esteem now?
Yes.
Can you look into that camera and tell people that you are proud of who you are?
Yes.
Tell everybody.
I'm proud of who I am.